welcome. This is tier number 3 of ARL. We're here in Belgium for round number 11. I am joined by absolutely nobody, unfortunately. It's just going to be me today, so hopefully I can do my best to keep on top of everything. Hopefully, it doesn't go too poorly on the inviting front and everything else. Arthur's going to be first to start our lap here. He's in the Williams today as a reserve. And behind him is Tom Vittori, and then ties the other Williams. So hold on, I need to invite somebody. Very swirly on the exit there is Arthur. Keeps it now. He doesn't invalid on his time. Would drop over to Tom. Still valid on his lap. Very tricky circuit. Belgium, one of the most difficult, I would say, to hook up an entire lap just because of the length of it. Yeah, probably almost on par with Singapore for, like, in my opinion. So, it's very difficult to get right, and I would say valid lap, pretty easy on the board, but a competitive one, difficult to do. And we're going to have our first time on the board set by Tom, and then right behind him is the Williams of Ties. Tom goes and sets a 43.5. Ties goes and beats it with a 42.7. We should see those start to tumble down. There's a McLaren coming to the final chicane. That would be Communist, who is invalidated. His Riles goes to the top with a 42.6. Up next would be Hissy. No, sorry, that's an Alfa Romeo. T4 to the line. He'll put himself up to third. Joe on the mediums with a 43.8. Pretty decent time on that tire. Unfortunately, I don't think that would be enough to stay in the top 10. Just Dylan Boy in the Haas, 42.3, blitzing Riles' time. Gaggia, the final corner, goes and sets a 42.6, just ahead of Riles in the same 10th as him. Next up would be Rapid Extreme. Yeah, he actually backed off his lap received. Static, who is invalid, so trying to get the best possible exit. Surfy goes to the top now, 42.18 people now have set times in this session. I would assume most are going to be able to get times. We have a collision back here, Raptor and T. Raptor picking up a 5 place grid penalty for a collision. Interesting. Trying to see who's on laps still. Very difficult. MNK, ooh, just barely, he keeps it valid. Okay, now through the final chicane. But his first time on the board will be a 42.7 in the mix with most of the other drivers on their bankers. So not too bad if I say so myself. Rapid, I believe, just jumped up. Yep, Rapid jumped up to 7th now. Catch anyone on a lap. Static is not. Raptor has retired in the pit lane, I believe. So yeah, he's going to be starting at the back anyway with that grid penalty, unfortunately. There will be anyone else on a lap. Black Raw just starting one, so we'll hop on board with him for the rest of this one. Purple through sector 1 obviously is not set a time yet, so might be a bit off on that front. Through No Name, out of Puon. Touches the curb, keeps it valid, just barely. Don't want to touch that inside one on the second part as well. Keeps it clean. Now flying through 5th gear through the second part. Now downhill to a tricky section. Don't want to get caught up on either of these curbs too much, otherwise it will invalidate the time. And he's kept it nice and clean now, just has to manage this back straight out to the final chicane. Bus stop chicane, that is. Another tricky chicane to get right because of the flawed Codemaster's curbing through here. Very high, very difficult to get right. A bump on the exit. Kept it nice and clean though, and he'll put himself up to 5th place with that time for the Mercedes squad. Anyone else? I believe that's Arthur. No, that would be Ty's actually on an outlap. Coming up next would be a Red Bull of Tom Katori, and he's got 2 McLarens right behind him. Riles also on an outlap. Communist might actually be on a lap out of these guys. Yeah, he is. His teammate gets out of the way. Red Bull still in front of him. Communist now through the final chicane. And he puts himself into 11th on his banker, so got some work to do there for Communist. And he did have the Red Bull holding up a little bit through that final chicane. We can find some time there. You see invalid on his time. We got the 2 Alphas on outlaps, and then it would be Bugatti also on an outlap. Black Draw, I would assume, is on an in-lap as T4 has smacked the inside barrier, lost the car, got a Ferrari going through, and he'll be able to get on his way. Wind damage on that car, he'll have to take it back to the pit lane in order to get back out on track. Just had a competitive lap time. Arthur's put himself 2nd. I didn't even catch that. So Arthur put in a very good time on the board. Hopefully he doesn't crash out, because that's what he does best, unfortunately. New reserve. Ioger could not make today. He's in the Williams, along with Ty's now coming through the final sector. Just barely up on his current time. Through sector 2. So I'm wondering, because it said it was purple, he might be running a bit of extra downforce here today. Yeah, this is a very low downforce circuit. 1 wing, 2 wing on the front, even 3. Some people will elect to run very low downforce around here. Ties now to the line. Will put himself up to 4th place, proving a 10th and a half in basically that final sector alone. Up next, who do we have? Tom Katori through the first section. Riles seems to be on in-lap? Sorry, outlap, yeah. Starting one now. And that's a Renault. MNK, also invalid. And it'd be Surfy, who's currently on provisional pole, up at 10th. And a bit through the Sector 2 split line. He's got some time here in the final sector as well now. Surfy coming to the final chicane, out of ERS now. Still got a little bit to power it on the exit here, but after that he's going to be out of ERS now to the line. Surfy Where will he go? It'll be P1 still with a 41.889. Now, first one into the 48s, or sorry, 41s. Man, I'm tired. Behind him, I don't believe Goggy improved. Yeah, he was down on this time. Now, Haas up next. That'll be just Dylan Boy, and there'll be a Williams on an in-lap. I would assume there'll be ties. So Dylan Boy now through the final chicane, and he'll put himself up into P1. That'll be. He'll just edge out Surfy 794 in the 41s as well. Two drivers now dipping into that range. So I'd be very pleased with that lap. It's just Dylan Boy. How about that one? His teammate Invalid will probably get another lap in on those tires if he elects to do so. Now Riles through the final chicane up 2/10 on his current time through the Sector 2 split line, and will put himself up to P5, improving 3 and a bit just ahead of his teammate Tom Katori in the Red Bull. Extreme also up to 5th place, haven't caught much of his laps. MNK down in his time again, doing another lap it seems. We're just starting one, so Surfy electing to get back to the pit lane. Joe's in the pit lane as well. Let's see, Rundle still has not done a lap time. It's another interesting qualifying from the McLaren boys. Obviously, last time out at Italy, it worked perfectly for them. Starting at the back, avoiding all the chaos, and getting straight to the end on those hard compound tires from the early safety cars. And it seems that it's working for them at the moment. Rundle not set a lap time yet. Communist last, unfortunately, out of all the people who have set a lap time. T4 new, reserved to the lead, coming through the end of Sector 2. Flowing right, left. Keeps it, very squirmy on the exit. Keeps it valid though. Yep, just barely keeps the tires in. He's currently up 5.5 tenths on his current time of a 43.1, so he'll get himself right into the mix of everyone else. Currently 13th now through the final section of this racetrack, flat out all the way down to the chicane. Braking at the 100-meter board. Looking up the two apexes, make sure you don't lose it on the bump at the exit. Out of ERS to the line, he'll put himself up to 5th place, a very good lap time from T4 in his debut. Next stop, is it? Yes, it is Communist. MV up a bit in his Sector 1 split time. Obviously, Sector 1 is almost flat out. You got one braking zone, and that would be turn number 1. So not a lot of time to be found through there. Now through Sector 2, this is where a lot of lap time comes. Again, some drivers may be sacrificing their qualifying a little bit to run just that bit lower downforce in order to gain time. Just to gain time, basically, in the race and be more difficult to overtake, and you can overtake a lot easier. Communist up 5.5 tenths through Sector 2. I said he probably has some time through this final chicane here. This might be his final time. This might be his final lap that he gets. Just a little bit on the exit, but he looks pretty in shape. He'll put himself up to 12th place, 42.7. His teammate now through the final section of this racetrack did not catch the Sector 2 split time, unfortunately, in my right-hand corner. Now Rundle. Championship. Final chicane. Hooks up the two apexes pretty nicely from what I could see. Doesn't elect to short shift it out, but gets on the power nicely, and he'll put himself up to 3rd place. Lowest of the people in the 42s with a 42.007, almost flat. And that is a very good time. Ties now through Sector 1. He's up a 10th.5 through Sector 1, so excuse me for saying there's not a lot of time in Sector 1. Now, make sure you keep it valid. These curbs are pretty big, so it's very easy to just get onto them and get all 4 tires off the actual racing surface. Strict corner cutting rules are on. It's very easy to invalidate. Just dip the tire off. Communist has retired from the session, and that'll be him 13th at the best. What can ties do now? Everyone else starting laps, everyone getting down to the wire here. It'll be interesting to see who can nab, if anyone can nab pole position off Dylan Boy. Surfy would be my guess. He's closest at the moment. Ties now into Sector 3, flat out on the back stretch. Checker flag is out, so that'll be MNK static and T4 done. Ties now will be first to set their final lap time of the day. It'll be a 42.4, only 0.2 quicker, puts him up to 9th. We'll be hoping to be dropped down to 11th place, I would assume. Now up next, it'll be a Haas. That'll be Utile Elephant now to the final chicane. Here he comes. Currently P5. Where can he put himself up? He needs to match Rundle if he wants a chance at this championship. Will match Rundle. Put himself right behind him in 4th place. Rundle, that'll be his qualifying over as he elects to pit. Here comes Arthur now up 0.2, and he improves a 10th.5, stays 5th place. It'll be up next. It's Surfy now. Surfy's going to take pole position away by just under 0.5 from Dylan Boy. Surfy to the top. And now it'll be a Red Bull coming to the line. That'll be Tom Katori. Does not improve. A Merc of Black Raw does not improve. Riles up. He's down 0.3 on his time. Not going to improve. Rapid Extreme now up next. And then it'll be Bulgogi who elects to pit. And Rapid improves up to 4th place, splitting Rundle and Joe, and that is going to be qualifying. Rapid Extreme, the newly elected AlphaTauri team leader, as that team is currently not doing too hot. Polo God leaving from the entire league, relieving himself of the duties of AlphaTauri team leader, excuse me. And that is going to be it for qualifying. Rapid puts himself up to 4th. Surfy's going to take pole away from Dylan Boy. Only 2 people managing to get into the 41s. Rundle 3rd. Rapid Extreme 4th. Utile Elephant puts himself into 5th. Arthur, in a good performance, will put himself 6th. T4 7th. Riles 8th. Ties 9th. Tom Katori rounds out your top 10. And Bulgogi, Black Draw, Communist MV, MNK, and Static all outside the top 10, with Hissy and Raptor not setting lap times in this session. While we wait for the drivers to get their pit strategies, make sure all the final little adjustments in their setups are all set. I will grab you your current points standings here for tier number 3, and it's Rundle currently on top with 140 points. Callum unfortunately has left us. He was currently 2nd, in the closest to Rundle. Rundle to our technical 2nd place is Utile Elephant, who's on 91, so fair bit back, almost 50 points back from Rundle. Ties 4th, M&K Boy in the Renault 5th, and Kyogre, who's not here today as well, is 6th. It's Riles in 7th. JS, I believe, yeah, he's moved up to tier 2. He is 8th. Black Draw 9th, and Surfy rounds out your top 10, who is currently on pole. Constructors wise, it is McLaren over Racing Point, 180 to 178. Williams trails with 154. Haas in 4th. Red Bull in 5th. Mercedes, Alfa Romeo, Ferrari, Renault, and AlphaTauri or the rest of your order. We'll get all your information up for everyone doing their race engineers for all their teams. Softs for the top 11, Black Draw, MNK Boy Static, the only ones to elect to start on the medium compound tire. Everyone else starting on the softs, no one on the hards as expected. Easy soft medium strategy here today, pitting around the lap 8 mark today. And everyone on the medium tire should be going to about lap 13, lap 14 to strap on a fresh set of softs to gun it to the end of this Grand Prix. Just winding through Sector 2 now. Surfy, very impressive pole performance. Hopefully, for his sake, he can get a win in this one. It would be very good for his championship overall. I believe he'll be able to catch Rundle with how little races we have left, but you never know, depending on a bit of luck on his side and some skill as well. I'm interested to see MNK Boy, especially. He's had some bold strategies as of late and put himself into good positions as the race goes on. Currently on the medium tire, I'm assuming it's the one stop for him, but he has done some interesting 2 stops lately, starting at the back. I think he can move himself up, and I think Joe from 5th will be able to move up, trying to challenge Rundle for that championship lead. It's going to be difficult ask to do, though. 49 points back as of now. Surfy picks up 1 point from pole position today, so it'll help his championship out just that little bit more. Currently in the chat, we've got people trying to guess when Raptor is going to DNF. Hopefully, for his sake, he does not. 5 red lights now out. And away we go. Surfy, it looks like he's got a good start compared to just Dylan Boy, and he's going to be able to hold this lead into turn 1. Is he, though? Dylan Boy around the outside. Is he going to be able to make a stick? Yes, he is. Dylan Boy up to the lead. We have a little bit of chaos at the back. Someone's around. That's a racing point of Static. Everyone else seems to be good and clean through turn 1. Now up Rouge and Radion. We have a car off. That's T4 in his debut. Absolutely smashing the inside wall. Kind of reminded me of Antoine Hubert. Rest in peace to number 19. And we have a full course safety car out. Just Dylan Boy has taken the lead away from Surfy, and Rapid Extreme up to 3rd. Arthur 4th, Utah up in 5th. Rundle did not get a good start on that one, and he's down to 6th. 2 Red Bulls, 7th and 8th, currently looking pretty good. Ties 9th, and Black Draw and MK Boy have moved up on those medium tires, 10th and 11th. So 1 retiree already Static. Check on his. Got a full front length, so he'll be able to stay out on this one. Could be interesting. See some guys maybe elect to go on the hards to try and get it to the end here. It has worked in the past. Hard's not great around here. So anyone elect to pit. Top 2 look to stay out here. Behind them, yeah, everyone staying out. We have a Red Bull diving into the pit lane. That'll be Riles trying something different, along with his as well. Ty's pitting, Goggy pitting, Hissy pitting. So both the Ferraris, or no, sorry, Goggy did not pit, apologies. Tom Katori ended up pitting as well. Riles puts on the medium tire. Hissy onto hards. Tom on hards. Ties on mediums, so split strategies here. Red Bull's on different strategies. Ties goes on mediums. Hissy onto the hards like Tom Katori was. Everyone else staying out. Apparently it's a 1-2 according to Codemasters for Haas, but that's not correct. Elephant down in 4th place, so. Fourth, the back have boxed. Everyone else stays out. Top 12, that would be for you watching. If you can't count, of course. I have difficulty counting sometimes. Anyone in the chat want to predict anything besides Raptors DNFs? See what we got. I'll take that as a no. Everyone's gonna stick with their Raptor DNF predictions. Red Bull 1-2 says Bernie Mays, talking to X below in the chat as well. Both on the Red Bull team. I could see maybe Tom Katori getting up there. Riles, if he can make those mediums last to the end, that would be very impressive. He could be in a good spot, because those mediums will have a lot more pace compared to the hards, at least at this stage of the race. And, yeah, if he could get those to the end somehow, I think he might be in good shape to grab a good top 5 at least in this one. Interesting to watch and see those 4, see how they do. It would be difficult to get those mediums to the end. Those would be in puncture range absolutely at the end of this one. Don't think Riles wants to go to the end. Yeah. Giving up the track position though was a bit interesting in my opinion. He was pretty far up, along with Ties. They were decent positioning. They were on softs. If they have a fresh set of softs in this one, this could be a good strategy. If they can work their way through this traffic ahead of them. What even is the strategy here? It is soft medium and medium soft. Pretty simple strategy. The tires do get pretty worn out towards the end of each stint, but not exactly into puncture range if you're in your pit window. And then those guys on the hards, trying to take them from lap 1, they will be able to take them to the end, but the pace on those will not be great, at least. It'll be interesting to see how they play out into this one. Should maybe see the safety car in this time by. Everyone's caught up and everyone's good to go. Warming up the tires, making sure they got as much temperature in them as possible. Don't want to spin it out of the final chicane. I've seen it happen before and I've done it before. It happens. Yep, this time we'll go. So, anyone who predicted Raptor DNF before lap 3, you are wrong so far. He's currently 11th place, just outside the post. Trying to go back to see if anyone actually predicted. We got some lap 3, lap 4, and lap 6. Interesting. Safety car pulling into the pit lane now. Surfy should be able to go anytime he wants. After this point onward, might go in the middle of the chicane here on the throttle. Still waiting, still waiting, still waiting. Now he goes, and he's got a good jump on the rest of the field. He's going to be safe into turn 1 here. His teammate, though, Joe's on the back now of Rapid Extreme. Communist gets by Bulgogi on the restart as well. Didn't get off to a great one there, side by side. Now Communist is ahead. And Rapid's going to hold on to 3rd for the time being. Black Raw doesn't look like he's got off to a great start on those mediums yet. Top 2 still stay the same. Goggy and Communist still going side by side at the back here for 9th. Goggy's got out of shape. Raptor takes advantage and gets himself into the 10 for all you haters out there. There we go. Move himself up to 10th on the soft tires. Now it'll be interesting to see how people extend these soft stints, or if they stick to the plan and pit around lap 7, 8. Even though they can probably take them a lot longer here. Joe on the back of Rapid now for the podium place. Still trying to get this one settled. Might be a lot easier with some DRS assistance. We're coming to a close now. Sorry, lap 4, sorry. Just Dylan Boyd taking your fastest lap. Tom Katori, first one to pick up a penalty. Those hard tires must be sliding around on him a lot. Very difficult to get those in check. Goggy's lost a lot of time. He's down to 15th behind his teammate. Now Rapid 1.4 off the lead. He doesn't have a lot of slipstream down this straight. Joe might look to get a move on here in the Haas with Rundle behind him as well. Doesn't deploy the overtake. Looks to the inside, but not gonna do anything silly down the straight here. Rundle's all over the back of Joe as well. Rapid loses the car and might have picked up a lot of wing damage on that thing. No, he's actually got 0 wing damage. He saved that. How has he saved that? That's off. I don't know how he's kept that thing out of the wall. But he has lost positions, unfortunately, from that excursion off the racetrack. And now Rundle's looking to the inside, can't get the move onto Rundle. Sorry, can't get the move onto Joe just yet. And we have a yellow flag. Who was that for? Might have been MNK, not too sure. Could have been Communist as well. There's a big gap between 8th and 9th at the moment, which is not helping out like the likes of Ties and Riles. They're falling off the back of them. Arthur and the Williams all over the back of Rundle as well. I told him not to kill a McLaren in his reserving duties. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And now down the inside, he goes very late under brakes and does not get the move on Rundle. Rundle, very smart, gets a switchback. For the race lead, does Surfy have anything on Dylan Boyd just yet? Saving the ERS, he's got a lot more than Dylan Boyd at this stage of the race, so it could be interesting. Rundle now getting past Utile Elephant for P3, and he's up into the podium places. We'll try and track down those top 2 who have been on another level not recently, in this one today. 2.6 is the gap. See if Rundle can close that in, and if Joe and Arthur would be able to stick in that DRS of Rundle. He looks to have a lot of pace right now. Static getting by Raptor. Raptors lost 2 positions, might have gotten a bit loose out of that corner. We have a yellow flag, as I was talking about. Utile Elephants lost it might have touched the inside curb. And he's got no left-end play. We have another car off. That's Raptor, and he's into a wall. Lap 6 is your winner. It's VRT Lily. He wins the competition of when will Raptor DNF. And we brought out a virtual safety car. If we get back to the pit lane, this could be huge for the soft runners. Absolutely into the Giovinazzi barrier is a Raptor. And now DR is back enabled, so we did not get to the pit lane. No one's going to be able to take advantage of this VSC to box. Raptor is just too good, I think, for this game. Arthur decides to pit very early on his set of softs, along with Utah Upton, who had the wing damage, of course. We had two very interesting excursions off the racetrack today. We've had Rapid Extreme saving it, not getting any damage on that thing. And now Raptor goes inside a barrier. So, impressive, maybe, to say the least. We've got a battle now. As I was talking about Rapid Extreme, he's getting past. Here comes Black Raw down the inside, and he's made that one stick, and he'll keep that one up to 4th place now on set of medium tires, so looking pretty good. If he can close that gap up to the top 3, it'd be difficult to do so, though. Already 5.5 seconds off of Rundle in 3rd place, who was another 2.5 off of the top 2. Yeah, Jack called it. He called lap 6, and well, he was right. Didn't expect that kind of DNF to happen, but I think that just proves how good Raptor is. He's able to glitch through a couple barriers, and yeah, he might not have a brain inside his head at the moment after that collision. A little further back, Ryle's on static. Ryle's on the fresher medium tires. Those feel a little bit better than statics that he started the race on. Ryle should be able to get a move on here. Keep an eye on that race lead, though. Here comes Surfy, deciding not to use the battery. Still looking for the slipstream now to the outside. Not close enough. Ooh, almost hits into the back of Just Dylan Boy, who's got 20% less battery than Surfy at this moment of time. And now Ryle's not close enough to static as well. I don't know the corner names. I apologize for being a very bad commentator on the names of corners and the numbers of corners. Again, I can't really count very well. I just know a few of them. Yeah, I'll need to see how Raptor DNF there, because I don't know how he did that, to be honest. If he was trying to avoid Joe, he could have just stayed on the racetrack, I think. Other than that, unless he also hit the curb as well, I don't know. Or maybe he didn't have a front wing. I don't know. I don't know how he did that, but he's pretty good. Into the pit lane is our top 3 coming in lap 8. Onto lap 9, and Black Raw will take your race lead. And Rapid Extreme elects to stay out along with Communist. Goggy also boxing off the soft tires. So only 2 left on the softs. And look at this, Just Dylan Boy, Surfy. They've come out ahead of Hissy and Tom Katori, who pit lap 1 on the hards. But Hissy has jumped Rundle, Rundle second back as we have a pass. Now for second place, MNK getting by Rapid on the aging soft tire. Now Communist might be holding up the likes of Static and Riles as well. Too much to talk about right now, unfortunately. Would help if I have a co-comp, but it is what it is. Could be worse. Could not have a commentator for this one. You could just be listening to the game sound. Or maybe that's better for you. I don't really know. Maybe you hate my voice. Down the back straight. Communist holding up a little bit of a train here. He's still in DRS of Rapid, who's lost a lot of time on this lap alone. Lost almost 2.5. As now around the outside comes Static, a very late lunge as Communist decides to dive into the pits along with Rapid. And now Static under pressure from Riles now into turn 1. Nothing doing just yet. Ties on the back of them as well, who's also made one pit stop to up to this point. Guys in danger of, they're almost a pit stop behind the leaders at this point. Dylan Boy's just ahead of Surfy. They're 1.5 seconds back from Ties, who's on the back of this train. Now Riles looks to the inside of Static, and this should be a relatively easy one into the chicane, and it looks like he's got this one done and dusted. Now Static still trying to fight it, but nothing doing on that outside of that corner there. And now Ties will look to trying to take advantage of Static on his 2-lap pressure mediums. Static doing pretty well here in the racing point. Rapid Extreme getting by Bulgogi at the back as well on the straight. Leaders, or sorry, your potential race leaders, at P1 and P2, just Dylan Boy and Surfy currently closing up to the back of this little train here from third on back on the racetrack. MNK and Black Raw have a bit of a cushion to these guys. Ties, as per usual, out of ERS. Just kind of how he drives, I assume. I don't know how he does that. Always seems to have nothing left in the tank. But if it works for him. So it becomes difficult to pass on the straight, though, is now trying to get a move on behind Dylan Boy. Here comes Surfy. Dylan Boy is also out of ERS. What is this? What is this? Now, oh, contact! Dylan Boy shoves Surfy off the circuit. And Surfy has lost a lot of time from that one. Still has the front wing intact, but now Rundle is onto the back of him. And Dylan Boy has a large margin to his next competitor on the racetrack. A bit of a dirty move, if I say so myself. I didn't catch all of it because it went on board with Rapid Extreme on the front straight for some reason. Ties, oh, he gets down the inside to the outside now. Static must have made a mistake into that braking zone, and he's got through. Dylan Boy trying to look for a move on Static, nothing doing just yet. As Ties looks to close back into Riles into his DRS zone. But here comes Static back onto the back of him. He's got more ERS than Ties, as Ties is 1%. Static around the outside. Ties locking up. And, oh, Static decides to pit? No, he's in a wall. I don't know what that was from static, I'm just not gonna lie. But he's just lost a lot of time. I don't know why, if he was trying to pit that time, I don't know why he would have been trying to go around the outside. Would have maybe wanted the inside. But now Surfy. Wait, Surfy's back on the back of Just Dylan Boy. Just Dylan Boy must have got held up in that collision with static, and now Surfy's taking the race lead after Dylan Boy held it since lap 1. Yes, Raptor, everyone did enjoy that beautiful wall section. Ooh, that was very wide from that Mercedes. No, sorry, that must have been Ties in front of them. I don't know what is happening to my eyesight right now. Dylan Boy picks up a 3-second time, but he could be crucial for the end of this one if Surfy and Rundle. Now Rundle to the inside of Surfy through Sector 2, and he's made that one stick. Dylan Boy losing a lot of time now. Does he have any damage on that car? He does. He does have a left end plate missing. Must have made contact with the back of static, sending him into that pit wall. And now Dylan Boy, he's either going to have to tough it out on the mediums here, or he's going to have to pit again. Finish that front wing, but he's going to be relegated way farther back if he does decide to do that. MNK Boy boxing now on lap 13. Sorry, lap 12. Going on to lap 13. MNK is going to assume he's going on to the soft tire to finish this one out. We'll see where he comes out compared to the rest. Soft tires on for him. Surfy on the back of Ties as well. Looks trying to get a move on in this one. Ties yet to make a second stop in this one. He pit lap 1 under that safety car for the medium tires. So we'll see if he's trying to make it to the end on this one. I don't know why the camera angle is doing that, but Surfy gets by Ties now for P3, top 2. I'm assuming Riles is probably going to pit along with Ties. They're probably going to pit again. And Blackdraw is yet to pit. He's the only one yet to pit in this Grand Prix. Farther back, MNK Boys come out 10th place just behind Tom Katori, who's on the hard tires. This should be a relatively easy move once he gets to him. Oh, very, very, very loose. Caught the curb along with Tom Katori. They both caught the curb. Didn't catch that on the camera angle that I had. MNK again snapping on the curb. He's got too much grip in that race car. He's trying to attack every curb he can. And he'll get by Tom Katori, but not without his fair share of issues on the curbing of this racetrack. Very difficult. And now here comes Rundle to the outside of Ties. Ties electing to stay out once again. Does not want to put on the softs yet. I'm wondering if they're trying to make it to the end of this one on those set of tires. Would be very good track position wise, but those tires will be absolutely dead by the end of this one. Now we'll try and get a move on to Ties here. Ties already out of ERS. You can see the blinking light on the back of that Williams. And now this should be a relatively easy one. Rundle to the inside. Ties doesn't fight it too hard. And he's made that one done. Ties now dropped to 5th place in this one. Rep Extreme pick up a 3-second time, but a few people have time penalties in this one. Not too many though. It's not like a Canada or like a Singapore. Sometimes difficult to keep it on the racetrack around there. Mexico as well. This is a relatively easy one. There's a couple corners where you can extend. Not too many where you really cut the corner. But now, looking for the net race lead of this one is Rundle trying to get onto the back of Surfy. Just outside of DRS range, Surfy is in the DRS range of Riles on those aging medium tires. Rundle sets a purple sector 2 on this lap, might be pushing for the fastest lap of this one. as he did get by Ties, had the DRS and the ERS through Sector 1, so he would have gained a lot of time through there. Now through Sector 3, not using any of the ERS, playing it smart. Black Raw dives into the pit lane to give up the race lead to get onto a set of soft compound tires. Rundle now through the final chicane. Will this be a fastest lap for him? Yes, it will be a 45.3. Might see MNK or Black Raw take that one, or someone outside the top 10 who's not having the greatest of races. So Dylan Boy also decides to pit off his medium tires as well for a set of softs. Was not hanging in there too well with the wing damage. Here comes Surfy now onto the back of Riles. And this one is all good for Surfy. He's taken back the race lead, but not without his share of struggles. He's got no ERS in that thing. And if Rundle can get into the DRS, he will have an absolutely amazing chance to take this race lead. MNK Boy passed Hissy as well. He's trying to get through the field on the soft. Black Raw's come out 5th place on the soft, so good track position. If he can close the gap to Ties and Rundle, that would be impressive to say the least. He's got a couple laps to do that. 8 seconds to gain. Maybe difficult, but you know, he's still got a shot at this. If he can keep it on the track and put in some good laps. He's got a lot of ERS to burn as well, so it is possible if he can get there. Ty is struggling on those mediums. Riles also struggling. They might be trying to stretch this one to the end, so this might be for position. Here comes Rundle to the outside. No, Riles blocks it well. Defends well. Riles still stays out. Yeah, I think he might be trying to take this one to the end of the Grand Prix now. Ties actually boxes this time, and he will give up his track position for a set of soft compound tires. Does not think he's going to be able to hold those things on to the end. Riles might try and do it, but I'm thinking if he doesn't pit this coming time by, he's not pitting to the end of this one. He's going to go to the flag. Rundle to the outside, relatively easy one again. Those mediums of Riles just have nothing left. Now Rundle up to P2, 1.1 back from Surfy. You can get into that DRS. He's got a lot more battery. You could see Surfy down at just 20% going into the corner. Rundle has double that. He's almost at 40. So very interesting. Could end to this race. We have a car off at Eau Rouge. That's just Dylan Boy, who led most of this one. And we have a virtual safety car deployed for just Dylan Boy's retired car. Unfortunately, got that wing damage off static. Not sure what happened into that chicane. I don't know what he was trying to do, but it did not work. I'll tell you that much. And Dylan Boy picked up damage from that collision and incident, and unfortunately, his day is done in Eau Rouge. As we get ready to go back racing here. Arthur's 6th for Williams, Ty's 9th on the soft tires, so he's got clean air ahead of him, and he's going to be trying to catch those on the aging medium and hard compound tires ahead of him. Riles now, virtual safety car is still out, might be able to get a pit here. Yes, he is. He would be able to take advantage of this for just a little bit. I'm assuming this VSC is going to come back in. It's going to end in a couple minutes here. Now it is... oh, and Arthur's picked up a drive-through. Oh, Arthur. So, Riles picks up a little bit of benefit. Not that much, though, from that VSC. And Arthur now going to have to do a drive-through and actually retires from the race. So, Arthur is reserving duties today. Not the finish he would have wanted. Running in a good position as well. Yeah, Riles he picked up about, I would say about a second or two off of that, because if you look at the gap from him to Ties, Ties was about 2.5 back, now he's about 3.2, and Ties did have an undercut on that, so he probably picked up a couple seconds from that one at most. It does help him get ahead of his teammate though, Tom Katori. and he'll charge up. I would assume the best maybe he could get is P3 at this one, which he might have gotten anyway if he tried to stay out, but it would have been a lot more risky on those aging medium tires. 13 runners left in this one. And we have another yellow flag. That's a Merc. Black Raw picked up the curb on the inside of Pouon, and now MAK has put himself up to third for the team Renault. You know, Mr. Square is very happy about that because he's currently got one driver who is half into a barrier at the moment. So third place for MAK, picking up great points at the moment for the Renaults. And now Riles on the back of Hissy, and he will get that one done relatively easy. Those hard tires have nothing left of this one. Yeah, Rundle for the race lead as well. Back draw. Oh, he hits the back of MNK. MNK keeps it in a straight line. Ty's picking up your fastest lap at the moment, 45.1. But that might be investigated if Black Rod has anything against him. He's got a lot of ERS to burn, but so does MNK, both burning it down the straight here. MNK down to 50, Black Rod down to 70. Look to the inside. Trying to outbrake MNK boy. Does not get it done though. MNK holds it around the outside. Very nice and clean exchange through that section of the racetrack. Not exactly into turn one. There's another bit of contact. MNK locking up. Here comes Black Roll to the inside. Now turns to the outside and does not have enough. Tries to switch back it here on MNK. Still looking. Yeah, decides to back out of this one. Very bad corner to try and go side by side through. We'll still try and get a move on to MNK here. Ties as well on the back of Tom Katori. A little further back. Now Tom Katori is just trying to hold on for dear life on those hards, trying to hold on to some points on this one. Because of Ty's lack of ERS management, it's going to be very difficult for him to pass even these guys on the hards. He's got a 0% battery and he uses it out of every corner. I think I'm going to have to teach him how to try and manage that a little bit better. Riles picks up your fastest lap at the 45.0, and now Black Raw actually got by MNK, but MNK is going to have the DRS advantage down the main straight here. He might be able to take back the podium place. Very close to the back of Black Raw for the race lead. It's still Surfy ahead. MNK to the inside, and he's going to get this one done, I would assume. Oh, still there is Black Raw, and now MNK is ahead through the chicane. It's going to be a big battle, and Riles is going to try and join the fray in this one as well. And then if Ties can get to the it's going to be very difficult. He might have something to say about this one, using a little bit of overtake. Can't get to the inside though. Tom Katori does go wide though. Here comes Ties to the inside. Now turns to the outside for the next corner, but he's got enough grip to get past and up to 7th place. Now we're going to try and track down Hissy with 1.5 seconds up the road in 6th. And that might even be the maximum for Ties today, as we're running out of time in this one. Still, the battle for the lead ensues. 16 seconds is to get back to MNK. It's a 1v1 for these guys unless they absolutely blow each other up. Surfy's out of ERS, and Rundle's down to 35. So Rundle's still with an advantage in the ERS front. And looking desperately trying to get by now. Gonna check your warnings for you guys watching. Surfy has 2, and Utah Elfin has retired from the Grand Prix. Rundle also has 2, so even on that front. MNK has just 1, and Black Raw has 2. There's your scenarios. So yeah, Utah Elfin binned it, I believe, through Sector 2 at the end of it, yeah. And Rundle has now gotten by Surfy for the race lead. Does Surfy have anything to answer with, though? That's the question. He's got no ERS, but does he have enough left in those tires? Does he have enough left using the DRS to try and get back at Rundle? Now Surfy wants the race win incredibly bad, doesn't care too much about the championship at this point because he is a bit out of it, but if he could pick up a race win, that would be huge for his team. Alfa Romeo, they're struggling a little bit in that combined constructors hunt, and only one car left in this race. Surfy would be huge if he could get that race win, if he could even force Rundle into a mistake, try and pick up a penalty, would be huge. As Black Draw picking up the inside curb once again. He struggled all day through there. Now that puts Riles within DRS range. Riles has a shout at the podium here today. Ties on the back of Hissy now for 6th place. He's still about 5.5 seconds off of the podium places. So it'll be very difficult for him to get up there. Rundle picks up your fastest lap of the Grand Prix on the medium tire nonetheless. Those guys on soft didn't have enough in the tank to get that one done. And now ties to the inside of Hissy, and they kept it nice and clean through there. Ties up to 6th place. Will try his best to track down the top 3, but it'll be very, very difficult for him to do so with how little ERS he has. So now back up to this top 3. This is where the real battle is. Surfy has fallen out of DRS range of Rundle. Rundle really pushed on that last lap. He's used up all his ERS and he's gotten it out of DRS range. Static gets by Communist into the final chicane for P11. Still not in the points, unfortunately. Goggy holds your final points paying position today. 12 runners left in this one. Now the battle for 3rd. Black Draw trying to get onto MNK and Riles on them as well. If any of these guys slip up and make a mistake, lose the car, break up from wing damage, Ties is there to pick up your final top 5 slot. That makes sense. Surfy's fallen off of Rundle though. Surfy's got one more lap to try and get in, and he's actually gone wide, pushing too hard and picked up a penalty, and that is going to be it for your race win unless Rundle absolutely blows up. So unfortunately for Surfy, that might be it for the race win, and he might have to settle for a 2nd place in this one at best. Now Black Draw, Riles picks up a 3-second, and that might be him out of the running for 3rd place as well. So 2 drivers picking up penalties on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. As we head now onto the final lap, the top 2 already onto it. These battle for 3rd still ensues. Now MNK has the most battery, and it goes 40%, 30%, 20% for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Riles will need a miracle if he wants to pick up an extra place in this one. Now MNK using the battery up a little bit. Black Draw decides not to. Now we'll hop on board. Black Draw now decides to open up the battery, and now opens up the DRS down to 15% battery. If I'm him, I'm saving that. Yeah, he elects to back off the battery, try and save it up for the final straight. Try and get as close as he can through Sector 2 to try and take away this final podium position. As he runs wide and picks up a penalty as well, so MNK might have just secured the podium if he could keep it clean through the rest of the racetrack. And Riles now has a shot to maybe get back into the DRS of Black Draw, but DRS doesn't mean too much as there's no more detection zones really in this race. But if he can get close enough to get a slipstream, he might have a shout at P4, but he's fallen off a little bit here. Those tires did not last as long as he would have wanted. MNK's taken them 8 laps so far, but out front, LSJ Rundle securing this the championship lead, taking home the win, and he has the fastest lap as well. It might be 26 points. Rundle crosses the line. He will win ahead of Surfy, who takes a podium, which is a great result for the Alfa Romeo team, but not the win they were looking for all day. MNK is going to hold on to 3rd place on the aging soft tire, and it's going to be Black Draw 4th, Riles 5th, and Ties not close enough to take advantage of Blackdraw and Riles' penalties. He will come home in P6 today. Hissy and Tom Katori taking it from lap 1 on the hards. They will take home 8th and 9th. Blue Gagi jumps them off of penalties. A great result for Gagi up to 7th. And Rapid Extreme, after that crazy save, he will take home your final points paying position in 10th place. And just outside the points is going to be Communist MV and Static RZR. Driver of the day, MNK boy. I'm gonna have to give that one, in my opinion. I'm gonna have to give that one to Rundle for the comeback after being so far back after the opening laps, closing back up, and just incredible race pace Rundle has around here, around most of the racetracks that we go to. Qualifying pace a little bit to be desired, I would say, from his pace standpoint, but the race pace seems to be almost unmatchable from anyone else in this tier. So Rundle's going to pick up the win here in Belgium. It's a great day for McLaren as well, gaining points on Team Williams and on Team Red Bull as well, I believe, in the standings. Sorry, in the combined constructor standings, and McLaren will solidify their constructors lead in tier 3 here. So Rundle, Surfy, MNK rounds out your podium. Blackdraw, Riles, Ties, Gagi, Hissy, Tom Katori, Rapid Extreme, Communist MV, and Static RZ are just outside the points. Utah Elephant, Arthur, Just Dylan Boy, Raptor in his incredible crash, and T4 in his debut, all not finishing today's Grand Prix. So I'll try and get your podium drivers into the party here today. See if we can get a couple of them in. Hello, hello. Pretty good. I'm assuming you're doing pretty good as well.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm doing alright.
And MNK here as well. So I'll start with our race winner today, Rundle. First stint didn't exactly fall your way after the safety car fell off the lead pack of Just Dylan Boy, and it was Surfy as well. They got into a bit of a tussle with not a lap car, but someone on an alternate strategy, Static, and then after that on the mediums you closed right back in and stole that race win away from Surfy. How'd it go from your viewpoint today?
Yeah, it was all about patience today. I just wanted to be there in case anything happened, and yeah, sometimes luck goes your way, and then something did happen that lap after, so I just, bided my time behind Surfy and got him on lap 20, was it? And then pulled away, did the fastest lap of the race, and yeah, took the dub.
You took home 26 points today, and a great showing, extending the championship lead as well. Unfortunately, your teammate did not score points, but still extending all the championship leads, the constructors for tier 3, the combined constructors, and your own drivers championship as well.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, it's a great team effort from McLaren.
Surfy says his mic is not working at the moment. See if we can get him back in. He leaves and rejoins. But yeah, looks good so far. I'm not too sure how you guys are looking tier 2 and 1 wise for upcoming on later day and Sunday as well. So Lewis is always fast, I know that much, and I'm not too sure how the rest of the team is looking as well. But yeah, it's good for McLaren overall, I would say. And I don't think Surfy's mic is still working. It says he hasn't left the party yet. But I'll move to third place finisher MNK, quite a bit off of the two race leaders, but still picking up the third place. I seem to be talking to you almost every week at this point. Quietly getting yourself onto the podium places. How'd it go from your viewpoint today, MNK?
Yeah, on the side, the patience was very important today. I've been helped so many times on the ultimate events, but yeah, I think that's the reason why I'm podium, obviously. But yeah, apart from that, it was a great race. I enjoyed it. Mostly the battle with Flat Row, which is incredible. I both kept it clean, and yeah.
Yeah, it was a great battle. And then Black Draw and it was Riles just behind as well, both picking up time penalties and securing that third place for you. Congratulations on that one. For your championship, you're looking pretty good to maybe take home a third place overall in the drivers, and Renault not doing too hot in the overall stuff, but for your sake, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, for this, I don't have any chance in Brazil champion, so I just want to enjoy it, get the maximum amount of points that I can, and yeah, race for fun.
Yeah, congratulations on the podium. And Surfy, is the mic working yet?
Yes it is. I got it working.
There we go. Alright, Surfy, so close yet so far. It seems like every week you always have one thing that goes wrong, and today I think it might have just been that penalty.
Yeah, definitely was.
So, I don't know what happened in that collision with Static as well, with Just Dylan Boy. I don't know, what was your like viewpoint on all of that chaos and that shit?
I think it started when I was about to overtake Dylan. I was like on the curb awkwardly, and I tried to give room. I'm pretty sure I did, but his rear right just hit my car and it went off in the grass. That got a rundle back in it, and he basically was behind me the whole time after that. And the static incident with Dylan, I'm not sure what happened. It just looked like Dylan went in the back of him.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like he was trying to pit or something, and then I have no idea what happened, to be honest with you. But P2 for you, finally bringing home a good result.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm talking to you this season, so that's great. And yeah, hopefully it goes your way for the rest of it.
Yeah, hopefully I get more podiums and not ball.
Yeah, you have a still fight in the championship for the drivers and constructors wise. I believe Alfa Romeo. Yeah, you guys can fight maybe for the top 5 if you get a bit lucky with it. But
yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. And I think unless anyone else has something to add, that is gonna do it for today. Make sure you guys tune in about an hour's time, just under an hour, for tier number 2. We're back at Belgium again, still round 11 for all the tiers, and then tier 1 tomorrow on Easter. We're racing 12 p.m. East, 5 p.m. UK. So make sure you guys tune in to finish out this weekend of racing at Belgium. We've had 2 great races so far, a wet one in tier 4 and a nice and dry one here, tier 3. So we're 1 for 1 on that front, and we'll see how it goes the rest of this weekend. That's going to be it from me, and thank you guys all for watching